All right, well, we're back with Dale Earnhardt Jr. to continue our interview on Around the Track. I'm really curious now that you've been in the booth, you've stepped away, and it's only been a year, and I think that I'll be curious to see how this progresses over the next couple of years as you're doing that. Is now your perspective on the sport versus being a driver and the way you looked at broadcasting or the way the sport is portrayed, as well as maybe the interaction and involvement of the drivers' teams and things to what they bring. I know you think about these things a lot, so I'm curious now.
I wish I would have known back, in the first half of my career, what I know now about the broadcasting.
Yeah.
And I've learned as I've become a broadcaster, and I watch a lot of the print media as well from a different perspective, a lot of the journalists and the beat writers and stuff like that are there every race. I see now how much more important their job is, how much harder they're working at it, how much more they need the drivers to engage, and as a driver, you got to choose. I don't feel like doing that today. Or, that sounds great. I like that guy. I'll do this, print media or article, or I'll give this guy 15 minutes and I'll go do this TV show. I don't feel like doing that TV show today. I won't do it. You could choose. And, seeing it from this perspective as a broadcaster, I go, wow, I could have done so much more.
Yeah.
I could have been so easier to work with. I could have realized like how important that engagement is for the sport, not just for me, but also for me. I didn't understand what a brand meant. For the first half of my career, people go, da brand. I'm like, what is a brand? What are you talking about? I don't have a brand. I'm me. I don't know what you're talking about. And I get it, like trying to grow my own brand. I realize now I could have done so much more earlier, understood that. So it's a bit frustrating.
Yeah.
To see.
That's what I find is the personalities mean so much.
Yeah.
Right. When you got a guy like Boyer that just is saying all kinds of, it's just gold, right? Yeah. And you go, man, there's so many guys that behind the scenes that have great personalities, but just don't want to put it out there in front of a camera.
No. The thing is, too, is that they feel like, man, I race hard, I work hard, I'm going to spend this time, my me time, doing what I want to do, not doing what everybody else wants me to do. So if the drivers want to go, well, you changed and you went to the other side and all that, I own it. It's true. And one of the things that, one of Truex, right? We're great friends, right? And he's like, I don't like some of the things you say about me on the racetrack. And I'm like, well, Martin, you should come up. I want to, he's willing to do this. But I'm like, man, you need to come up and watch a broadcast and see how this goes down. And this all will kind of make sense. I never did that. I got offered to go to the booth with Helton, and watch NASCAR do their job over and over and over. I don't want to go do that.
I know. I did the same. You never went to the production trailer.
And I should have.
I know.
Had I done that, I'd have realized all this so much sooner. And, man, there's just so much going on that as a driver, you just don't understand. Like, I never knew what the broadcaster was trying to accomplish. I just heard a bunch of guys talking, I never knew what they were trying to do and how they're trying to create content, how they're trying to engage and interest the fan. I didn't get this until I became the broadcaster. I took it personal as a driver.
Yeah,
and it's hard not to, but now
what
I get
about
it.
rivalries? You kind of bring it up a little bit. I know, me and your dad and Bill, and along the way, I think rivalries have been such a key component to the history of the sport and building it up and engaging the fans. What about today? It seems harder to build rivalries today, or maybe it just hasn't organically happened the way it used to. But I'm curious to get your thoughts on if you had any rivalries.
I had a rivalry with Kyle Busch. It was really unhealthy for me personally. I can't speak for him, but it wasn't good for me. I felt like that I was always there. I spent a couple years there, especially when I was struggling, consumed with getting him back, or anytime he would needle me in the press, or beat me on the track or whatever. I felt like more focused on that than anything else, and a lot of drivers, and I saw this in Harvick this past year during the playoffs. He's usually the guy that's trying to stir things up and get and screw with guys, right? Well, he completely shut down, especially going into Homestead. he wasn't going to start anything, say anything, give us any kind of, give, I say us, the NASCAR world, any kind of quote or any kind of ammo to use either against him or his competition. He just kind of bottled himself up and focused, put the blinders on and just focused on his job. And so when it comes to rivalries, not only does the media have a responsibility to shape that rivalry and create it, we create it, the media, right? We tell the fans this is a rivalry, and this is why, and we'll talk about it and show some
We
videos.
try to build it up
Exactly.
more than it maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But as a driver, it's gotten tougher to get into a rivalry because it's just all you see the whole next week. It's all you get asked about for the next several weeks, and it's not fun.
Yeah. I heard you recently say something about you still got the itch.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, Axalta sponsors a lot of different series, Baja 1000, Formula One. We just saw Jimmy in a Formula One car, NASCAR. Is there, besides NASCAR,
Right.
is there anything that you've ever had an itch that you haven't done that you'd like to do?
I had so much fun racing in the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Yeah.
That, and not that race. It doesn't have to be that race specifically, but I watch Ray Evernham and Bill Elliott go have fun, at Indianapolis or wherever they
The
go.
vintage
Yeah, the
racing,
vintage
yeah.
stuff. They race these cars and they just cut up, enjoy it. It's low pressure. You get to. When I think about driving and what I miss, I don't need a race. I don't need 400 miles. I just want to drive it.
Yeah.
I was picking with Greg Ives in text message at Homestead. I said, man, I'd just do anything to run that happy hour in your car. I just want to run the ball.
Listen, you almost got a call to drive
I know it.
on Sunday.
Yeah, you're right.
Because my name was on that list.
Was it?
And
Yeah.
I saw those guys inch off the wall on Saturday, and I thought, I don't know if I want to just hop in there and do 400 miles.
Right. I wanted to run that final practice at Homestead so bad, and I don't want to run the race. I really don't care to run the whole race. I don't. I ran a race at Richmond in the Xfinity Series this year, and I got out and I went, yeah, I'm good. And I miss driving. I don't miss, a whole race and the whole grind of the entire weekend. It's just these little pieces, and it happens like Martinsville. I'd have loved to have run practice at Martinsville. I know you probably would jump in just for a practice session.
I would love to do the same.
Yeah. And nothing more, just to get a little taste.
Thanks for tuning in to Around the Track with Dale Jr. And be sure to go to axaltaracing.com and all the Axalta Racing social media channels to see when the next episode will air.